Ferrari? Gone. Bugatti? Gone. Porsche? Gone. The Corvette ZR1X has walked into every corner of the European establishment, taken their best shot, and sent them home embarrassed. 1,250 horsepower, under 2 seconds to 60, around $250,000. It has humbled supercars that cost 10 times as much and forced some very uncomfortable conversations among people who thought performance had a 7-figure entry fee. Nobody has even come close. And then Sweden built a 4-seat rocket ship with 2,300 horsepower and pointed it at Bowling Green. For the first time, the ZR1X is staring at something it cannot simply overpower with value. Is this what dethroned looks like? The opposition setup. The Gemera exists because Christian von Koenigsegg ran out of conventional problems to solve. He already built some of the fastest production cars in history. He already proved that Swedish engineering could outrun Ferrari, Bugatti, and Porsche on the same strip of asphalt. Then he asked a completely different question. What if a hypercar could also be practical? What came out of that idea was the Gemera, a 4-seat, all-wheel drive Mega GT powered by a 5-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that Koenigsegg designed from a blank sheet of paper. They call it the HV8. That engine is paired with 3 electric motors, not 2, 3. 1 for each rear wheel and 1 on the front axle because apparently restraint is not a Swedish value. Combined output is 2,300 horsepower and 2,581 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 takes just 1.9 seconds. Top speed is 249 miles per hour, and all of that happens in a car with a back seat. Only 300 will be built, and every single one is already sold. Production began this year. If you were not on the list years ago, you're not getting one now. The list is gone because the cars are gone. Price of admission? $2.5 million. Christian von Koenigsegg calls it a Mega GT. At this point, he's earned the right to call it whatever he wants. The matchup. Now let's talk about what happens when the numbers hit the page. The Corvette ZR1X arrives with 1,250 horsepower from a twin-turbocharged 5.5-liter LT7 flat-plane crank V8 paired with a front electric drive unit. Chevrolet claims a 0 to 60 time under 2 seconds, a quarter mile under 9 seconds, and a top speed of 233 miles per hour. Those numbers used to end conversations. Then the Gemera showed up, 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds while carrying 4 passengers and their luggage. Top speed? 249 miles per hour. 16 miles per hour faster than the Corvette despite weighing hundreds of pounds more. And then there's the power gap. The Gemera makes 1,050 more horsepower than the ZR1X. Over 1,000 more horse? That's a statement. But here's where things get interesting. The ZR1X weighs approximately 3,647 pounds. The Gemera comes in around 4,079 pounds because it's carrying 4 real seats, a luxury interior, and all the hardware required to make 2,300 horsepower behave itself. Even with that weight penalty, the Gemera holds a slight advantage in power-to-weight ratio. Sweden wins the math. Barely, but it wins. At the same time, those numbers also reveal something remarkable. The ZR1X sits within a few tenths of a second of the most powerful 4-seat production car ever created, and it does it for roughly 1/9 of the price. That might be one of the most impressive accomplishments in Chevrolet's history. The invasion. The reason these two cars are fascinating is that they arrive at similar performance numbers through completely different philosophies. The Gemera's HV8 uses a hot V configuration, meaning the turbochargers sit inside the V of the engine rather than outside it. That shortens airflow paths, improves packaging, and helps reduce lag. It also creates enough room for Koenigsegg to integrate 3 electric motors into a car that still offers legitimate rear seat comfort. Virtually every major component is bespoke. The engine is unique, the hybrid system is unique, the software is unique, the drivetrain architecture is unique. The rear electric motors provide true individual wheel torque vectoring, delivering power independently to each rear tire in milliseconds. Not brake-based vectoring, not software tricks, actual per-wheel power delivery. The result is one of the most mechanically sophisticated production vehicles ever built. The ZR1X takes a completely different approach. Its LT7 is a 5.5-liter flat plane crank V8 that revs to 9,000 RPM. A flat plane crankshaft allows for more even firing intervals, helping the engine rev faster and produce a sound that feels more European exotic than traditional American muscle. The front electric motor provides instant all-wheel drive traction off the line, while the ZTK Performance Package adds massive aerodynamic capability, including roughly 1,200 pounds of downforce at top speed. One car was developed with virtually no financial constraints. The other was developed by a major manufacturer that still has to answer to customers, regulations, warranty claims, and shareholders. Both outcomes are extraordinary. They're just extraordinary for very different reasons. Before we get to our verdict, make sure you're subscribed, because the next chapter of the European Invasion series is going to make a lot more sense if you've seen everything leading up to this point. Now let's finish this. The reality check. This is where the Gemera should completely dominate. Practicality. And honestly, it does if money is no object. The Gemera has 4 genuine seats, not decorative rear seats, not emergency seating. 4 adults can actually travel in comfort. It has rear climate controls, luxury amenities, long-range touring capability, and enough storage to function as a legitimate grand tourer. It also has 8 cup holders, which Christian von Koenigsegg seems unusually proud of. The ZR1X, meanwhile, has 2 seats, a front trunk, and storage space best described as optimistic. On practicality, Sweden wins. On price, however, the conversation changes dramatically. The Gemera starts at roughly $2.5 million. The ZR1X starts at $228,100. A heavily optioned ZTK car lands closer to $280,000 at MSRP, although dealer markups have pushed some examples substantially higher. Even then, the numbers are absurd. For the cost of one Gemera, you could buy multiple ZR1Xs, build an entire collection around them, and still have money left over. The Gemera demonstrates what's possible when cost is irrelevant. The ZR1X demonstrates what's possible for the rest of us. That difference defines this entire comparison. The honest take. Let's give Sweden the credit it deserves. The Gemera is historically significant. It is one of the fastest accelerating 4-seat production cars ever built. It combines a bespoke twin-turbo V8 with 3 electric motors in a package that somehow remains road-legal, practical, and comfortable. At 249 miles per hour, it exists in performance territory that very few production cars have ever reached, regardless of seating capacity. Most importantly, it represents over a decade of relentless engineering without compromise. No cost targets, no platform sharing, no shortcuts. Just a singular vision executed at the highest level possible. That level of obsession is rare. The Gemera wins ambition. It wins complexity. It wins the argument about what becomes possible when one of the world's greatest automotive engineers refuses to accept limitations. The verdict. So what is the Koenigsegg Gemera really? It's Sweden's ultimate statement piece. Proof that a small manufacturer with unlimited ambition can create one of the most extraordinary automobiles ever assembled. It's a monument to engineering. And what is the Corvette ZR1X? It's proof that greatness doesn't have to cost millions. It's proof that a company building vehicles for ordinary customers can still create something that runs shockingly close to the world's most advanced hypercars. The Gemera is a monument. The ZR1X is a reckoning. One of these cars will spend much of its life preserved as a masterpiece. The other will be out on track days, drag strips, and back roads, driven hard by people who spent years chasing the dream of owning one. Sweden built arguably the greatest 4-seat hypercar in history. Chevrolet built the greatest performance bargain the automotive world has ever seen. Gasoline didn't die, it evolved. And it's wearing a bow tie. This is Forced Induction TV. I'll see you in the next one.